Hello again and welcome to another episode of MATC Now. I'm your host, Caitlin Herzog. Today we take a look at MATC's robotic welding program, get in the holiday spirit with the Chris Kindle Market, and learn all about the Kingdom of Tolosa in today's Hidden Gem KE. All that and more coming up on MATC Now. Welcome to MATC Now. We're coming to you live from Milwaukee PBS studios inside MATC's downtown campus. Today our co-host is Dorothy, remind me your last name?
Walker.
Dorothy Walker. And then she's the Dean of the MATC's School of Technology and Applied Sciences. Thanks so much for joining us.
Well, thank you.
How long have you been with MATC?
40 years.
40 years.
Yes.
You've been here a bit. Yeah.
Okay.
Can you tell us how rewarding it is to be in charge of this program?
It's absolutely great. I've had a wonderful, wonderful journey here at MATC, not only in my tenure, but I'm also a graduate of MATC from our welding program areas, which fall into the School of Technology and Applied Sciences. My background before coming into MATC is I welded out in industry, one of the very first women welders out in industry. People used to call me the pioneer. That area has really grown so much, and my goal when I came in was to really get more women interested in not only welding but into non-traditional programs that would allow them to be able to support and take care of their family. Because I was a single parent, head of household, and for me it was really having a good paying life sustaining job in a non-traditional area. So my goal was to help other women realize that they could do that also.
That's great. We'll talk more about this later. All right, well, MATC brings out the best of its talented student body. The jewelry arts students of MATC's personal enrichment classes have an annual sale of their work. Let's take a look.
MATC's talented students have events where you can see their works and meet the artists. Annually, the jewelry arts students have their sale containing beautiful works and amazing crafts.
I just enjoy it, and it's just something for me to do, you know, and learn to do a small business too. That's my goal.
Darlene Johnson is a student of the jewelry construction class. Her passion and creativity are embodied into her work.
I love the class, you know. Yeah, it's called jewelry construction. I have earrings, and I also have bracelet sets, freshwater pearls. Well, learning some of the terminology. So, and that's still kind of new, you know. So, but I'm enjoying it though. Learning the terminology and the different things that they offer in the class, because we make the jewelry from scratch, you know.
The creations shown were all crafted by the students. Their proceeds benefit them and help them further their talent.
I've expanded my horizons and decided to bring some of my latest to the school sale.
Dave Dumke furthers his creative outlets with his new creations and a unique take for this year's sale.
Well, this is a student jewelry sale, but you can tell this isn't jewelry. This is epoxy art. Still just as creative as doing the jewelry was. It's just different. It's like a new toy. I've been making jewelry for 25 years. The creative juices just weren't flowing well enough. So I found a new outlet.
Check this and all the events around campus. Remember to shop local and help out up-and-coming artists.
That work was beautiful. You can find these artists' works throughout the year. And if you're interested in any jewelry classes or would like to see what they have to offer, please visit room M501. Dorothy, is there anything that you're seeing at that jewelry sale that you might grab before the holiday?
Absolutely.
It looks gorgeous, right?
Absolutely.
Well, people have said that if you know how to weld, you always have a place to work. Let's take a look at how MATC is helping people secure a career in a sought-after position or profession using the latest technology.
Robotic welding is, well, it's the wave of the future. It's duplicating what you do by hand with a machine.
Welding is one of MATC's oldest programs, having started all the way back in the early 70s, with robotics being added about 10 years after that.
We start out with just basic hands-on. First-year students spend a lot of time with the 4 basic processes: MIG welding, TIG welding, stick welding, and then flux core MIG welding. A lot of hands-on, a lot of theory that first year, and then the second year we start to apply more things such as codes and automation.
This program offers fantastic opportunities to get hands-on with all the professional equipment used across many industries today.
My goal is to become a female mechanical engineer, and by that I will definitely need welding. It's something that's always been on my mind. I just don't have the practice. I've never really had the equipment that I needed or the place to practice it, but it's always been in my interest.
Doesn't matter what your background is or where you hope to go with it. Robotic welding is about having the tools and knowledge to get you there.
I was a dental assistant, and I decided to come back to school because I enjoy building things. So I came back for the welding diploma program. I graduated in December of last year, and now I'm in the Welding Technology Associates program.
And it's not just about connecting beams at some construction site or making good money. It really can be whatever you make of it.
I think it has been positive. I've learned a lot of new things, and everyone's been really nice. I've learned how to build a lot of cool things, and welding is an art, and I love arts and crafts.
There are tons of industries that are constantly looking for skilled welders. And now more than ever, anyone can make a living off of this, regardless of race, creed, or gender.
But I've also recently thought about kind of going into aerospace, which I think would be amazing. I love space, and I think it would be super cool to be able to work in that field.
Especially because I really like that there's not a lot of women involved, and I kind of, like the challenge.
I just want to be an equal. It's not about being a woman in a male's field. I just want to be equal. I want to have the same opportunities as everyone else does. Male or female, doesn't matter what color my skin or what body parts I have. If I know how to do it, I want to have the opportunity to do it.
I think it's great that there's a lot of women in the program. It'd be nice to be able to work with other women that have the same interests. It's a field I feel like a lot of women don't feel like they'll enjoy, don't feel like they want to get into. So it's really awesome to see that there are more women giving it a shot.
No matter what you choose to do with it, there is nothing that can't be accomplished through an education in this field.
I would really, really, really like to build unique furniture, custom unique furniture. That would be really cool. The sky's the limit.
Sky really is the limit, and it's pretty awesome because we just saw a bunch of women in the welding program, and I'm joined with 2 women that are definitely part of that program here at MATC. So MATC's welding program is our guest, Margaret Keppel, who is currently a student in the program. Thanks so much for joining us.
It's a pleasure.
How did you get your start in the welding program here at MATC?
Well, I have a little bit of a diverse background. I have a bachelor's in geology from Northwestern University, and I did some graduate teaching at UWM. And during my time there, I took a blacksmithing class. It was kind of like in the art department, you know, and I really enjoyed it. And the instructor pulled me aside at the end and said, you know, you're really naturally talented with metals. Like, have you ever considered doing this for a career? And I said, no. And he's like, well, MATC has like the best welding program around, so you should go there and do that and then do as much art as you want on the side. And I said, okay. So I went and signed up and started totally blind. Just walked in first day, and I immediately fell in love with it the second I picked up a gun. So it was wonderful.
Dorothy, do you have a question?
Since you've been in the welding program, and you said you did graduate teaching at UWM, right? Okay. One of my goals is to get more women instructors. In the welding field also again, so that's an encouragement for other women to come into the program area, because the more they see role models around welding, they know that if we did it, then that means that they can do it also again.
Absolutely.
So where do you see yourself going after you graduate in May?
Well, I currently work at Kohler, so I have a nice position up there welding for them. I loved teaching when I did teach, but I'm more of a hands-on type of person, so weld instruction is obviously something I've been looking at as well. I've also been looking a little bit into the trades, pipe fitting and things like that. So the sky is kind of the limit for me right now, but my background's pretty full, so I think that'll get me into some good places, you know.
What are some of the coolest parts about these hands-on experiences you have at MATC's with the campuses, or excuse me, with the MATC's classes?
Oh, with the program, sure. Well, the instructors are all exceptionally friendly across the board, and they're there to help you. You know, they've all worked in their own field for, you know, decades, and they know everything, and they know everybody, so that's a great start, you know, and being friendly is a great start. And on the first day in lab, they're like, find a booth, pick up a gun, lay a bead, try it out. I'll do a demo, and then you can try it out again, you know, and they right in. And when I got my position, I knew I was fully prepared for the one, because they give you a weld test. It's not like your typical interview. You get tested on your skills. It's, can you do it? Can you not do it? It's pretty black and white. And I was fully prepared for that. I knew exactly what to expect. You know, I had learned everything in my courses as well, so I was fully prepared. And the hands-on, like, we have all the wonderful equipment, you know, great equipment, and the instructors are there to help you if you're like, hey, you know, I don't really understand. Gotcha. Demo, you know, they'll show you, they'll tell you, like, every which way you can learn something, you know, they've got you covered. So I couldn't have asked for a better experience. You know, immersion is a great way to learn anything, languages or skills, so I think it's a really wonderful program.
So Dorothy, do you believe that MATC has the upper hand when it comes to teaching welding? I feel like it's one of the only programs offered in the area, is it not?
Well, actually, WCTC, most of the colleges in the Wisconsin Technical College system run welding programs. We have the 2-year associate degree program, which Margaret is a part of, and then we have the 1-year technical diploma program area. We strive in the welding area in all of our programs to have the best equipment, to have the relationship with the manufacturers out there that manufacture the equipment, like Lincoln and Miller Welding, Miller Electric, and those companies there. Our instructors come to us from having years of experience out in the field. They know the type of equipment that we need to have in the classroom for students to train on. They come with years of experience themselves. They pride themselves in setting up their labs, making sure they have the right equipment. We did some expansion on the robotics lab in the last few years by increasing the amount of space that we have at the West Dallas campus, and then adding more robot units in out there also. I'm glad that Margaret mentioned also, most people think of welding as only in manufacturing, but the construction trades have huge amounts of welding in the sheet metal program, apprenticeship program, as well as the steam fitters. A lot of pipe welding, a lot of very thin sheet metal, so you have to have some really good expertise in those areas also. So there's lots of options for welding opportunities, not just in manufacturing, industrial, but also in the construction trades as well.
And you were mentioning that you actually are interested in maybe using it in an artistic sense.
Absolutely,
Yes.
and, you know, and piggybacking off of that, you know, there's an artistic application to this as well that people may not often think of.
That's
you know,
correct.
a lot of machine trades are limited to the use of a certain machine or being in a certain environment, But welding is something, it's building. So you can build whatever you'd like. In our program once, one of our instructors cut up a bunch of pieces for us to make roses for Valentine's Day. So we got to put all the roses together, and I had people saying, "Can I buy one of those from you?" Like, how much for that? Right away. I posted on social media, and people are blowing me up. It's like, "Oh man, can I have one of those?"
You're already making money off of this.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. So it has artistic application. Furniture, as it was said in the spot. You have furniture, just sculpture, art pieces. Combined with blacksmithing, you could do a lot of wrought iron. You could do gate work. You could decoration. I know restaurants hire artistic welders and things like that to make decorations for their fixtures and whatnot. And you could also get to the point where you have your own weld truck and you just work independently.
Thanks so much, Margaret. I hate to stop you right
no
there.
problem.
You're definitely
But that's
passionate
cool,
about
y'all.
welding trucks.
No problem. No problem.
Well, thank you so much for joining us again. We can't wait to see what you accomplish in the next coming year. Drones are becoming more and more popular throughout the world, including in the media. We caught up with one MATC graduate who's leading the way in this exciting new field. Let's check it out.
The use of drones is becoming increasingly popular in the world of media, for a good reason, too. Drones allow directors a chance to get a whole new perspective on the things they're shooting. A perspective you wouldn't get from a normal camera on the ground. Of course, every drone needs an operator, and for Milwaukee PBS, that operator is Chris Mikulski.
I drive our 45-foot production truck that we take to locations for the shows that we shoot. I'm also EFP audio for every single show that we do, I've been on. And I'm also the only drone pilot that we have here at the station.
So the first time I worked with Chris, we were working a Veterans Day concert. And one of the things I love most about working with Chris is the fact that not only do we get work done, but we actually have a great time doing it, because one of the biggest problems on remotes is people are always super serious or not getting anything done. We're able to get stuff done while having a great time. I think we were wrapping cables and swinging on a swing set by the end of that shoot.
About 4 years ago, Kevin Pulse, who was the producer of Tracks Ahead, came to me. He had just bought the Phantom 2 drone out at NAB that year and asked me if I would learn it for the show. There's one little catch. I had to learn it within 2 weeks because we were traveling out to California to shoot. So I took it upon myself to learn it as quickly as I could. When you don't know that much about aerodynamics and flying, you kind of learn while you're doing it. And there was quite a few times throughout my career that I have learned the hard way of doing things when it comes to the drone. The shows that I have shot with the drone, I started out with Tracks Ahead. I've obviously done Around the Corner with John McGivern, Outdoor Wisconsin, Black Nouveau, I get pulled for to do some stuff for that, Adelante, 1036. Basically, if we do a show, at one point in time, I have done a drone shot for it.
Most of the time I work with material that Chris gets out in the field. He either acquires the audio for a lot of the segments I'll put together, or a lot of the drone shots that we use a ton in Around the Corner. All the drone footage is stuff that Chris gets. So it's pretty amazing stuff to get a different perspective that you normally wouldn't get if you were just on a tripod with a camera.
I think one of the big things about working here at Channel 10 and why I've been able to accumulate so many different jobs is that I'm always looking for something new to do at the station.
So cool to see a city from a different angle. Many people wouldn't see that angle, so that's really cool. Are you looking for a special holiday gift? You may find it at the brand new Chris Kindle Market, mere steps from the downtown campus. Let's check it out.
Beneath the glimmering lights of the Pfizer Forum stands Milwaukee's newest symbol of seasonal joy, the Chris Kindle Christmas Market. Known throughout the world for its variety of foods, crafts, and holiday souvenirs, the historic market distills traditions from around Europe into a whimsical mix of Christmas spirit and pleasant nostalgia. Kate Bleeker is the Director of Operations for Christkindl and was key in bringing this winter delight to Milwaukee for the very first time.
The Christkindl market started in Germany in the 1300s. It was actually, at that time, a farmer's market. There weren't grocery stores, so all the townspeople had to gather in the city square to get all their groceries, and during the winter they still needed supplies. So it started as a farmer's market, and then during the holiday season it became a lot more festive and much more of a community gathering place to celebrate the season. And so that is where the tradition started. We have brought that tradition here to the United States to really promote the German culture and the German tradition, which has expanded greatly all throughout Europe. There are millions of Christkindl markets in Europe. And so we wanted to bring that here to the US and really have a place where people could come and celebrate the season and learn a little bit about German traditions and culture and sort of experience everything.
Known throughout the world for its variety of foods, crafts, and holiday souvenirs, the historic market distills traditions from around Europe into a whimsical mix of Christmas spirit and pleasant nostalgia.
So the Christkindl markets here are designed after the Nuremberg market, which is probably the most famous, and you'll see that in the red and white striped huts. But what we have done is to make it more American and bring in the different cultures and different nationalities. As we are a melting pot nation, we really want to include everybody.
Modern technology has helped condense the German village market into compact rows of vendors, but the designers of Milwaukee's Christkindl took steps to maintain an historic aesthetic.
The Christkindl market is a part of the German American Chamber of Commerce, so we really want to make sure it's culturally significant and traditional, as well as having a foothold for our vendors to come over and be able to show their wares here in the US and really get that promotion of the companies coming over from Germany. It's really important here in Milwaukee, specifically because of the tradition and history of the German community here, as well as it having such a big German impact and German community still.
Of course, a diverse crowd of vendors and marketgoers sets the table with a wide-ranging selection of delectable entrees and confections.
Here at the Christkindl market, there's obviously lots of food to eat. Bratwurst and potato pancakes and goulash soup, all of the traditional, strudel and everything that you would expect at a traditional German market. But as this sort of melting pot market, there's also raclette sandwiches from Baked Cheese House, which are melted cheese sandwiches. There are pierogies, there are mini donuts and roasted nuts, all of the holiday treats that are amazing. And then on the beverage front, there's of course the Glühwein and imported beers, which are a favorite. The Glühwein is the hot spice wine, a very traditional German drink, and it comes in our souvenir mug. But then there's also, for the kids, there are the delicious hot chocolate and hot spice cider, as well as hot teas. So there's something for everybody.
Whether you're looking for a dose of holiday cheer or a warm beverage to fight the winter chill, Milwaukee's Christkindl market will more than satisfy all your Christmas cravings.
I can't decide what looks better, the food or the decorations. Either way, the Christkindl market looks like a great way to kick off your holiday season. Now over to Kathleen for today's MATC Minute.
The holidays are here, and if you're looking for something to get you into the festive spirit, stop by the public market now through December 12th. Gingerbread houses built by pastry art students will be on display. There's even a silent auction where the proceeds go towards scholarships for MATC students. Visit matc.edu for more info. Attention all graduates, MATC is holding this year's winter commencement ceremony on December 14th at the Miller High Life Theater. If you're looking to walk across the stage in your cap and gown, talk to your advisor for a graduation application today. And looking for a little extra holiday cash? Bring your used books to any MATC campus bookstore for the annual book buyback starting on December 13th until the 20th. Just bring your MATC ID with you and you'll turn those books into cash in no time. And finally, Don't forget to look into MATC's Winterim classes. Registration is open now, and those online classes run from December 26th through January 22nd. They could be a good way to get some of your credits out of the way. Visit matc.edu for more information.
Thanks, Kathleen. Did you know that Milwaukee used to belong to the micronation? Student producer Abram Delira has the story of the Kingdom of Tolosa in this week's Hidden Gem KE.
Hey guys, student producer Abraham Delir here with another Hidden Gem KE. Milwaukee's home to plenty of sights and sounds, but did you know that Milwaukee used to be home to a former micronation known as the Kingdom of Tolosa? It sounds really crazy, and it probably is, but allow me to explain.
The Kingdom of Tolosa was founded in December 1979 by a 14-year-old named Robert Ben Madison in his apartment bedroom as a possible coping mechanism for his mother's passing. Madison, throughout the 80s, then decided to latch onto the idea of Tolosa, expanding the territory of his nation to include much of the downtown Milwaukee area, known to him as the Greater Tolosa area, which was split up into 7 provinces, as well as an 8th province that happens to be off the coast of France.
To give you an example on how to use the geography of Tolosa in Madison's terms, the area I'm standing at right now, which is Riverside University, to most Milwaukeeans, wouldn't really be considered Milwaukee area to Madison. It'd be considered the province of Benito. No relation to Mussolini, of course. As much as I'd love to teach you the language of Tolosans, the only 2 words I bothered picking up on were both hello, bună ziua, and goodbye. Arrivederci. All good things, however, eventually have to come to an end, and as Madison got older, he decided to de-establish his Kingdom of Tolosa in 2005. However, as you can tell, the spirit of the kingdom is still very much alive. I think on that corny note, I think we'll end this Hidden Gem KE by saying goodbye, or as the Tolosans would say, arrivederci. Bye-bye.
I bet that's a part of Milwaukee's history not many people knew about. Yeah. Did you have any idea of the Kingdom of Tolosa? No, I don't think any of us did. Well, that's about all the time we have for this edition of MATC Now. Dorothy, thanks for joining us. I really appreciate it.
Oh, thank you.
For MATC Now, I'm Caitlin Herzog. We'll see you next week.